Greetings everyone, my name is Tony Holowitz, and in this tutorial I want to talk to you about something that is related to quote templates versus layouts. Now, I got to be really honest with you. I find this area confusing even for me. When I got into this, I found that trying to distinguish some of the differences to be confusing. And I'm going to address this in a separate tutorial in more detail. But for the purpose of what I want to show you next, don't let some of the terminology confuse you. Just sort of disregard that for right now. So let me get right to the point here. So we created previously the Chunky Monkey 101 ice cream quote. And what I did is I said, okay, now that we've saved it, I'm going to click on preview so you can look at it. So this is the preview of the quote. You saw this just a little while ago in the last tutorial. Now, on that note, I understand that different types of businesses require different kinds of quotes. I have people that use software such as QuickBooks where you can actually create quotes in QuickBooks that could look similar to what I see on the screen right now. But if you're in a service business, you might not want the quote to look exactly like this. This looks just too quote-like is probably the best way I can describe it. You might want something different. Well, the beauty of Link2Quotes is you can customize the quote to fit your need. And let me show you some examples of that. I'm going to go back here to the edit quote here in Linktivity, and I want to draw your attention down here to where it says layout. Now, remember I said the difference between layout and template? In my mind, I think template, but they refer to it as a layout. So in this case, this is the standard 2024 layout. And again, if I interchange the words layout and template in this tutorial, sort of disregard that. Having stated that, I'm going to click on this drop down and you'll see there are different layouts in here that I can choose from. So this is the standard 2024 layout. But in this case, if I decided to change it to the default layout, I could use that. Or I could also use the Service Modern layout. So I've done this in advance. I've changed the layout and I want to show you what they look like. So here's the first layout. This is the standard 2024 layout that you've seen. But the next layout is this one. And this layout is called the default layout. And you'll notice, and if I go back and forth, you'll notice these each look different, the way they're designed. I don't have a lot of the blue bars, the quote numbers. I've taken stuff out so you can see the distinction between these two. Okay, so here's two layouts. Let's take a look at the third one. Here's something that's even more unique. This is called the modern layout. And what they've done is they've created these quote templates inside of the software so you can choose from them. Now, once you get these templates in here and you work with them, you can modify these to suit the way you want them to look. For example, you might say you don't want the valid until option in here. You can take that out. You might not want the gray background. You can take that out. If you want the gray background to be a different color, you can change that. If you want the type to be a different color, they give you so many options that ultimately at the end of the day, regardless of the way you want your quote to look when it sends out, you can modify it to do that. You can really make this look very unique to fit your situation. So this is probably the area where you can get into and you can spend a lot of time on this doing some fine tuning. But the point I want to make is, again, this is what we started with. This was a second option and this was a third. You can have multiple options. You can take the same quote and save it to look in any way you want. This is all the exact same information. It's just I've used a different layout to present it differently. So that's what I want to illustrate here. This software can be customized to fit probably 90% of what you need and your situation. And that's one of the great things about it. So on the surface, if it doesn't appear to be exactly what you're looking for, keep in mind you can customize this, you can modify it, and you can get pretty darn close to exactly what you want. Okay, everyone, I just want to go through that with you, and I hope you have a great day. And if you have any questions, as always, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Be well, my friends. Bye now.